Hey there, kids, this is Ivan again. How you doing? I realized when I did my whole two-weapon fighting thing that I left out a few alterations that I was thinking of making to that system that I proposed at the end. Just some little extras, not really alterations, but the things I thought were neat from some of the other systems that I wanted to kind of add on. So I'm just going to go over those really fast and end the video there. I like the idea of being able to spend a proficiency slot on becoming specialized in the two-weapon fighting style, which of course if you see my tables or what I was talking about, you kind of have to be able to do that in order to kind of reap the full benefits of all that. I don't really get into all the other second edition stuff, with buying this, buying that, but I think that's a neat thing to be able to spend a proficiency slot on. I would definitely limit the effects of two-weapon specialization to weapons you're actually proficient in. So you're not proficient in a particular weapon, you shouldn't be able to get the benefits of the lower penalties and all that sort of stuff. I also like the idea of being able to forego the offhand attack and increase your armor class. Put yourself one armor class place better, and maybe you do this by foregoing the offhand weapon attack. And I would think to use a weapon to do that, it would have to be at least a D6 weapon. I kind of don't buy the idea that you're going to be able to use a dagger as a shield no matter how skilled you are. So it's got to be something like a short sword or a mace to really be able to get that. But I think that's viable. If you're specialized in that style, you should be able to do that in a situation where you really need to and you need the extra protection. I also like the idea of if you're using weapon specialization or like rules compendium or encyclopedia weapon mastery, or the kind of weapon mastery rules I'm kind of working on to make them a little simpler, the idea that maybe if you're doing a two-weapon fighting thing, maybe your benefits from that specialization or mastery of those weapons should be a little bit less than they normally are. Maybe a couple slots less. Not to the point where you're like fighting as inexperienced or non-proficient in the weapon, but maybe you shouldn't get quite as many cool bonuses because you're not concentrating on just using that one weapon. You're using two of them. As far as ambidexterity goes, I'm going to tell you what, you're going to roll for it. You're not going to buy it with a slot. 1% chance of ambidexterity is really, really generous if you look at the prevalence in the population, and it's a pretty powerful skill to have. So I'm just not going to let you buy that with a weapons proficiency slot. You can roll at character creation. If you roll 0, 1, hooray, you're ambidextrous. As far as multiple attacks go, I like the idea that perhaps just for fighters who have multiple attacks as they gain levels, that maybe if they get specialized in the two-weapon fighting style, maybe they can get those extra attacks with that offhand weapon as well. I don't think it's that overpowered. So I kind of like that idea because that kind of mimics what they do in Pathfinder with all those feats. And I don't see the need for all those feats, but it seems like that'd be a neat thing to do if somebody's decide to spend one of their precious slots on becoming specialized in that style. They should get like a little extra kicker benefit for that. And I don't think it's that overpowered. And finally, I like the idea of the rend. Maybe it should be a very low percentage of time this would happen, but I like the idea of maybe if you hit somebody with both your weapons in that round, you might have a chance to be able to do more damage with those two weapons, like maybe just D6 or something, or D8, and just give you a percentage chance of being able to do that based upon your attack bonus or THAC0. Your 20 minus your THAC0 would be your attack bonus. And maybe if you're not specialized in a two-weapon fighting style, maybe that should be like somewhere around like 1 to 3%. And if you're specialized in the two-weapon fighting style, maybe that should be more like 3 to 6%, times your THAC0 or attack bonus. So if you're a 10th level fighter, maybe you end up having a 30 to 60% chance of being able to cause that extra D6 or D8 damage when you've hit somebody with both your weapons. Because I don't want to have the big hit point escalation that some other games had, but it seems like it'd be a really neat extra effect to be able to throw in there every once in a while. So that's pretty much the other things I'm doing with the two-weapon fighting style thing that I'm developing at this point.